to have the bollocks.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with me on that?
You've like, what are we doing here? Levy isn't going anywhere.
It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Yes, good evening, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs 5. It is, in fact, the 5 tonight. We've got Dan E from the Hotspur Hood making up the numbers every Thursday from now on. We're going to be bringing in someone from the community to make up the Spurs 5. And believe it or not, we've actually found Stelios as well. He managed to turn up tonight. You know, he managed to turn up. He wasn't here after a win. If we lost, you better believe he would have been here. The cooking starts soon. The cooking starts soon. I hope everybody in the chat is happy and healthy, doing the things they can do. Before I come to the lads and find out how they are doing, a little bit of admin, guys. As you know by now, the rules are very simple. The rules are guidelines, but we request that you follow them. Please do smash the like button on your way in. Very simple to do. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. And drop your comments thick and fast throughout the show. Let us know how you're feeling. Keep them respectful. But you're more than welcome to have a pop at anyone who's got bad takes, and there'll be several bad takes, like there always is. As usual, as well, we have to drop the names of the guests' links. So I'll be dropping Danny's Hotspur Hood into the chat, and I believe Stel has got an announcement as well. He wants to bring to everyone's attention. So I will start with him. Stel, how are you, my man? Good to see you. Eventually.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. For the record, okay? For the record, paracetamol, antibiotics, minoxidil. I had an infection in the back of my head that's grown into this lump, and it's been painful, which is why I didn't come on the other day. And I've got tablets. Let's see how we go before I get cooked.
Good line in the comments there, Still. Hair today, gone tomorrow.
I can't be bothered. Yeah, quick announcement, everyone. Big up, welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. Dan, guests on the show, subscribe, like. Yeah, every week, every show. Stel, what's happened to Tottenham Away? Stel, when are you guys coming back? We are officially back, but not as Tottenham Away because we can't use the name. YouTube have blocked it. So myself, Iggy, Maz, Mari, JP, the band's back together. We'll be back Wednesday every week, starting next week, 8 to 8:30 p.m. The channel's called the Spurs Corner, not the Spurs Corner. We're going to be back. So there you go. We're back, people. Finally. I think Sean's got a link somewhere.
Yeah, it's right there.
Check out the link. Next Wednesday and every Wednesday there on after.
So if you do smash that link, you can subscribe straight away to Stel, get him off and running. Good luck, Stel, on the channel. You can also do the same for Dan, who I'm going to come to right now. But listen, Stel, I just want to give you the same warning as we know that there's channels that can't be named on this channel. And from now on, the Spurs Corner is one of them. You know, we're not allowed to mention other channels' names.
Right. Yeah, of course. I've created that mess, haven't I? Of course.
That's the rules. Them the rules. Dan, welcome, mate. Welcome thank you very much for coming on to the Spurs fight tonight. How are you, buddy? How are you feeling?
No, cheers for having us on. Yeah, fine, mate. Back on my feet, up and running, able to do some shows and that now. So, yeah, all cool.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Johnny boy, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, fantastic. I've just been pressured into a trip to Selfridges. Pretty traumatic stuff, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather go for a run in the desert than I had to go through today. But yeah, it's great. I'm not here to plug my channel, Football Inc., in any shape, way, or form. I won't be mentioning it again this evening. But thanks very much for everyone that subscribed to that said channel. Looking forward to tonight, and hello to everyone in the chat. And it's good to have Dan on board, aka Jeff, for one night only.
Yeah.
And
mate.
yeah, looking forward to it. This feels like Celebrity Squares. Do you remember that old pro? Oh, you won't remember it with the picture on the television.
Yeah, I ain't that old, mate.
In the boxes. Yeah, go on, Lubo.
Good evening. Evening all. Yes, welcome Dan. Also, just want to say, good evening, Jeff. I'm sure Jeff's watching tonight, and also a hi to Norman, who came up to me in the ground on Tuesday to say hi and said what a great show we put on every week, twice a week. So big up to you,
We're
Norman.
naming names, Lubo. We're naming names. Okay.
What can you do? And listen, it's been good. I mean, I've seen Mickey's goal from about 25 different angles on 25 different videos for the past 2 days, and what brilliant commentary by Darren Fletcher on TNT. Superb.
Yeah, it was. I agree, concur.
Yeah,
that guy's got a habit of making some decent footage more memorable. You know,
Lucas Moura, they've done it. They're in the Champions League final. Yeah, it's like iconic that whole 30
Now we
seconds.
know why Lubo's on Spurs 5 and not on TNT.
That's it.
Evidence. Listen, there's only one place to start, and that is with you still. you weren't. Listen, look, we're not going to spend too much time going over what happened on Tuesday night, because that was Tuesday, and we've got a massive game to look forward to. But I think we have to spend a little bit of time still figuring out. I know you said just now it's because you've got an infection, and I hope that clears itself up. But that was this is the first I've heard of infection. I didn't hear about the infection on Tuesday. All I heard was at 10:30, are we going to go, Sean? Are we going to go? And then at 10:45, once we figured out that Lubo and Johnny would be back by about 10 to 11, all of a sudden, Stell, you went, I got to be up early in the morning, lads. I'm gonna duck out purely because you knew you were going to get cooked for the approach in which you took on the WhatsApp group. Let's be honest, you were downplaying it. You were saying it's just Copenhagen. Tottenham aren't back. You know, let's wait and see. There was no happiness out of you still, and we need to spend a little bit of time diagnosing why. What's going on, buddy?
Listen, this absolute stitch up that you're creating, all right, doesn't wash. I swear on my life, this pain hit me, and I was just mangled, man. Honestly, I haven't slept properly for a couple of nights, and it is what it is, right? If people are going to believe me, they are. If they're not, fine. You know, I'm not here to win a court case with Sean. But
let's focus on the Copenhagen game. How do you feel about the performance?
All right, honestly, okay. I know my opinions have this amazing knack of winding everyone up. I don't do it to wind people up. It's how I see it. So it was a good result. There's no question of a doubt. We all predicted we were going to win that game. If you go back to the previous show, we all said we're going to win. I think I said 2-0, someone said 3-0 and whatever. The reason we predicted we're going to win, knowing that we are terrible at home this year, is because Copenhagen aren't good. They're not doing well in their league. They haven't won a game in the Champions League. This was an easy game. We're supposed to win this, which is why we predicted a win. So when we did win, it was almost as if that's why we predicted the win. But the absolute hysteria that then manifested off the back of it was ridiculous. And people are too scared to say it because they're going to get called a hater. You don't support Tottenham. Right? I cast you back to when we beat Man City 4-0 last year, I think it was. And everyone got really giddy over that result. And I was live on Tottenham away. Lubo, you were there, right? And Lubo said to me, you're never happy. You hate Tottenham. I said, hold on a minute. We've beaten the worst Man City team I've seen in the last 10 years. This is not a barometer of our progression. I'm not getting excited by that win. We always beat them anyway. And you know, you hate Tottenham, you don't like Tottenham. If I hated Tottenham, I wouldn't have flown God knows how many hours and travelled how long by car to go to Bilbao, round the houses. I wouldn't have been there supporting them when we won the Europa Cup. I love my club. I support my team. I'm just realistic. That Copenhagen win doesn't change anything for me. Go and do it against Man United, and there's a conversation to now be had. If we go and play Man United and we lose, putting in a stinker, that Copenhagen game means nothing. There's no perspective. So, look, Van de Ven's goal was incredible. The fact we went down to 10 men and kept going forward to score was great. There's a lot of positives. Dane Scarlett coming on, winning a penalty. that's what I want to see. I want to see him play more. Brennan Johnson silencing a couple of fans that said he can't play up front. I think, he showed that he can maybe do it. Yet to be proven though, because it is against Copenhagen, so I can't.
Can I just quickly? You're saying it's just Copenhagen. Right. You're saying it's just Copenhagen, right? But I'm sure Villarreal fans thought it's just Paphos. Right. I'm sure Chelsea fans thought it's just Karabag. I'm sure Barcelona fans thought it's just Club Brugge. Like, there's no such thing as an easy game of football. This is Champions League. I think we're understating that upsets can happen if you take your foot off the gas, if you let yourself down, if you take things too easy, then you can embarrass yourself. But we didn't. Even going down to 10 men, we turned on another level. And I think you can only beat what's in front of you. And I think we did a fantastic job. And I think that some people are not really giving it the credit it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, Forest thought
we all said we were going to win, though.
Sean,
we all predicted a win, though. Why? Why did we all predict a win?
Because it was one of those games where, for me, you've got no written right to a game as such, yeah? You go in complacent, that's when you get yourself hurt, whether it be on a football pitch, in a pub, whatever. You get complacent, you get done. It was a good win. It was a good result. We looked better when we actually had 10 men when Johnson came off. And I still don't think he scored that goal on purpose. I think he meant to cross it and screwed it up. But the point is, I think a few people need to honestly look at, I'm half with you on this still, as good result, okay, but it was Copenhagen. And if we now go and get done by Man U and absolutely ripped a new one by Arsenal, that Copenhagen result is irrelevant to me.
Dan, the point I'm making, right, and this is where all perspective has gone out the window with our fan base, right? We put Spurs on this pedestal now, and then if it doesn't quite happen again, we come crashing down as a fan base because we create these fictitious... Right, so this is... And I'm just explaining it. That's all. Look,
we're just enjoying the moment still. Can you
enjoy it?
I hear what you're saying.
My point is this, right, Johnny? This isn't the point. This is the point I was making. Every week we make predictions. For the last 3-4 weeks, every game we've played, we predicted 2-2s, 2-1s, a loss. Lubo and I both predicted the loss against Chelsea. We all predicted a comfortable win against Copenhagen. Why? Because we know they're not very good and we're going to do them. And we did what we all predicted. That's the point I'm making. Yet it's hysteria. Everyone's got mental after that game.
Well, I don't know about hysteria. I think that's hysteria, saying it's hysteria. I think most people still... I hear what you're saying, right? I mean, no one's getting carried away. I'm not getting carried away and thinking beating Copenhagen has got any correlation to playing Manchester United. First of all, we know that Xavi and all of them are not going to get the space when we're playing Man United. Not a chance. And also we realise the threat of Mbeumo, Cunha, Ahmad and Fernandes, right, just to mention a few, is going to be far greater than what we had to go through. And the one thing I would say, they still managed to get off 12 shots, Copenhagen, which I wasn't happy about. I meant to mention it on the other night when we did the show. 12 shots. We can't be allowing Manchester United to have 12 shots on Saturday. And, considering how poor they are, I don't think that was very, I didn't think it was acceptable at all. Because, a better team would have exploited those opportunities. So, I don't think anyone's getting carried away, but because, it's like very much like a snakes and ladders season we're going through at the moment, where we're up and down. We have to enjoy as fans. We have to take the moment to enjoy it while we can, with the realisation, I don't think anyone is in denial that come Man United game, it's going to be completely different and we could easily get torn apart. Man United have got 10 points out of the last 12. So anything's possible.
Going to be an interesting game. I mean, you would think Paulinho comes in for Sarr, and you would think that Kudus comes in for Johnson. Apart from that, the team's probably pretty much, the other 9 will be unchanged from Tuesday night. Listen, they're on the up. It's obviously given them a lot of confidence. home performances have been appalling. The nadir was Chelsea. I mean, the booing at full time. I mean, we were outside the ground. We could hear it. I mean, it was, and I think the players, you know, they were playing much more progressive football on Tuesday night. All of a sudden, you know, we're playing balls through. You know, I mean, Simmons' ball to Johnson was superb. Some of the football, you know, the move and the 1-2 and the flick that puts Moani in when
because the opposition was shit, Lubo, and they gave us so much space, man. It's like...
fine. But you know what? Still, what was good was that they were trying things against Chelsea. You know, they just looked scared. It was just like save.
Chelsea's a good team. Chelsea doesn't have to press and shut down the space. And they actually tested our players, and our players melted. They did melt,
but you know, the players have players on the ball. It's their decision what they do with it. And
is this the same Chelsea that barely got a point against Karabag 24 hours ago?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
if I was a Chelsea fan, Sean, I'd be livid. If I was a Chelsea
fan, they rested a lot of players.
Livid.
Yeah, but I think we're not giving. So still, you're basically throwing. I would say throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But are you basically throwing the entire performance into the it's irrelevant column because we don't know it's not worth a beam because the standard is Championship?
I said the exact same thing after we beat Burnley. I said the exact same thing when everyone was gaslighting Richarlison. Oh, we've got a proper coach. Look what a coach does to Richarlison when he's shown the right way. And I came and I said, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? We never learn. I did the exact same thing after Burnley. And I think I was kind of proven right because yet again, Richie fucked us. So
did you do the exact same thing after the Man City game or the Everton game?
The Everton game, I praised the team. I said that was a good result for us because I predicted a loss. And I said I was really impressed by that. Man City, I say the same thing every year. We always beat them. Ange beat them, Mourinho beat them, Poch beat them, Mourinho, Conte, everyone. Redknapp, he beat them 1-0 to get us our first ever Champions League.
Can't you make the same argument about Chelsea? Can't you if you're going to dismiss the City performance because it's a fait accompli, can't you do exactly the same thing for the Chelsea loss because that always happens every year as well?
Without fail.
You can, but at the same time, it was the performance that was upsetting, the 0.005 XG, wasn't it? It's not the loss, it was the performance. The performance was good against Copenhagen. I'm not knocking the performance. I expected that. What I didn't expect, though, was, and this is where I will be positive and praising, is that when we went down to 10 men, we still took it to them. And I like that. That I really liked because, you know, 10 men is 10 men. And we still dominated with 10 men. That I will praise the team and say, do you know what? That's impressive. Because at 2-0 down, we could have easily dropped back, shut shop, and absorbed them, and just saw out a 2-0 win. But we didn't. We hit them with some unbelievable counterattacks. And that I will say, you know, hats off to Frank and hats off to the team because 10 men is 10 men at the end of the day.
Exactly. Still, I don't think we took it to them. They took it to us, which totally suited us completely and opened them up even more on how bad they actually were. And we totally took them apart for it, basically. Again, they made us play that way and it suited us down to a T. Counter-attacking and just totally destroyed it. I mean, their goalkeeper, wow. Definitely in the wrong job there for me. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. It was the type of thing where you're looking at it. Yes, you expect to win now, which you should, but you never know what's going to happen. But it was also the point where I think a lot of people were sitting there after that abysmal result against Chelsea, where it was like a bunch of boys playing against them, where even though boys have probably got more than what that had on the pitch, where you're like, well, it's time to man up and grow up here. Go and do your bloody job. And it actually looked like we did it. But it's the next game for me that is really going to tell if they've got their act together, basically. Copenhagen, we should have won. Good result, good goals. Even some players had a good game. Odegaard, I think he had a good game by his standards. Simmons looked good. Yeah, let's see how we look against Man U and Arsenal, and then I'll decide whether I want to get excited or not.
Dan,
so far, so good.
Do you not think, Dan, that most of the games we played this season have been trying to counter a low block, whereas I think Manchester United will come at us? Will that not suit us if we play?
I think it will.
I would play defensive and counter-attacking football, exactly what we did. Although it's a much better team, that's how I'd be playing on Saturday.
This
But that-
team is built for a counter-attacking style. I've been saying it for 2.5 years. No, we're probably not going to go with a 3-4-2-1 like I want us to. But even if we play with Paulinia dropping back a little bit, got the two centre back, get a Doji on there, get Poe on there, and get them up the pitch. Stop using Porro to defend when he can't defend come love nor money because he's an attacking wing back. A Doji made us look much better going up front because he didn't have to cut in. We weren't so reliant on the sides. And I think another thing we need to be careful of is having Kudus back. Now, obviously, I want him back, but just because he comes back on the pitch, I don't want us to focus everything on him. Get it to Kudus. Because then they just mark him out of the game and they totally do us. So I want Kudus back on the pitch. I mean, he's definitely better than Johnson. But I don't want it to go to the way we have been doing it, where we then focus everything on him, basically. But I think a counter-attack is the best style when we get made to play that way. Because we're not dictators. We do not go on a pitch and say, right, we're going to play this way and make you play that way. No. Every team comes on that pitch, bar maybe one, and says, right, we're going to play this way. How are you going to play, Spurs? We're a reactive team. And whenever we have to react and do it in a counter, 8 times out of 10, personal opinion, I'd say we always look better.
Well, that's your away record and the way we play away from home, isn't it? So if United do come out and play, then they'll leave gaps behind them. They play 3 at the back, don't they?
That's why we know what we're getting. Exactly.
Yeah.
Lubo, we know, unlike most clubs, we know that Amarin ain't changing it.
That's right.
And he's going to play that game. I've said for such a long time, right, I'm never going to see it probably. I think we've seen it once ever. Personally, I'd be playing Jed Spence at right back, Pedro Porro onto the right wing to cross the ball, and I'd move Kudos inside with Xavi. Personally, that's what I would be doing because we don't. I don't. Yeah, I just think that.
So Xavi off the left, Kudus in the 10, Porro on the right, Muani in the top.
Correct.
So the only problem I have with that formation is that it outrageously leaves outside of the starting 11 my man Heisenberg. What are we doing there, Johnny boy?
No. I mean, he's part of the squad, mate. He's part of the. It's not an 11. It's not an 11 goal anymore. I just don't think Pedro Porro needs to man because he.
Odebear. I call him Odebear. So.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Listen, I think what was very impressive Tuesday nights was the fact that it looked like we had the 11 men and Copenhagen had 10, which I thought was brilliant. We broke. I mean, we could have scored another 2 or 3, couldn't we? After the 4th goal went in. I mean, Richie hit the bar twice. I just think Saturday. I think Muani will kick on. He'll start scoring. I think he looked very good Tuesday night as well.
Oh, sorry, that's the other thing, Lubo. That's the other thing we have to get back to. We haven't quite finished cooking still yet.
Oh yeah,
he was.
Oh, that's right. Muani's shit.
He was terrible in front of goal. Heading the ball over from 6 yards, missing the goal from 4. I'm like, come on now, hit the target. Good first touch. Got an eye for a basic pass to lay off a striker, but in front of goal, man, I'm like, really? He's got to do.
Are you having a laugh, man? You're talking about the guy who was trapping balls with his shoulder, with his chest, with the outside of his foot, who trapped a ball dead.
I just said he's got a good first touch. He's got a good first touch, but we signed him as a striker, and he can't score goals.
Beautiful technique he's got.
Oh, he's missed 2 chances. He hasn't had many other chances.
Good
2 chances.
Good chances, Sean.
Yeah, okay. That's what happens. Harry Kane's missed sitters in the past. Doesn't make him a bad player.
Levels above Richarlison and Johnson.
Yeah, but saying that someone's levels ahead of Richarlison isn't hard, is it? Come on.
He's got to score those chances for me. He can't be missing those, man. Let's see. Look, let's see where it does against Man United.
He just started playing. He's had a dead leg.
They always.
Dane Scarlett would have scored those goals. I think Dane Scarlett would have scored those goals.
All strikers miss chances. If you remember the game at City, Haaland, who scores for fun, put the ball over the top just before half time from 2 yards.
But then he scores 50 goals for the rest of the season.
No, that's right. But listen, let's give Muani a chance. I think for me, he's a bloody good striker. He'll just get better and better as he acclimatises himself to the Premier League.
Bloody good strikers score those goals, man. They don't miss
He'll
those
score,
goals.
don't worry. He'll score.
Mate, he's a top player. I've wanted him since Frankfurt. I've been a massive fan. I never thought he'd ever come to this club. And I'll be honest with you, my biggest fear is if he does do well here, how the hell we're going to keep him? Because we've not tied him down to anything.
Johnny, I have a question. If Moane is that good, if Moane is that good, give me a season where he's been consistent all season, not just half a season. Just a question.
Frankfurt.
Yeah. Eintracht Frankfurt, went to PSG. A little bit of competition there, Dan, just a little bit. Then went to Juventus and smashed it there. Went to the club.
Smash it at Juventus. Come on. He was all right. He was not special at Juventus.
They wanted to keep him. He
not
was
disputing that.
3 goals. Was it 2 goals and an assist in 3 games at the Club World Cup?
I'm not disputing. I think he's a good player. But when people start saying we got something special there and everything, I think he's going a bit OTT.
Okay,
and he did not smash it at Juventus. He was respectable.
Changed the game for France in the World Cup. Right, there's plenty of players that can play for France. If you think
he got 13 GA in 22 appearances, he got in 22 appearances for Juve. Not all of them were 90 minutes, by the way. He got 10 goals and 3 assists, so not bad. A goal every other game is he stretched that out as 20 goals a season. That's not in a 1-6 month spell.
It's good.
Can I say to the chat, who yet again have lost their minds because I speak, I never said Moane is crap as a player.
No, you did. No, you did. You did. I can bring it up. I can get the screenshot.
I said he's crap in front of goal. He's
no. Wait a minute.
His first touch is good. I don't knock his first touch. His ability to get his head up and lay off the other players and bring them in is good. There's a lot about him I like. All I said was, if you're a striker, you can't be missing basic chances. If that was Brennan Johnson, we'd be going absolutely nuts at the guy.
Hold on. In front of goal, he's crap. Look at Van der Ven, better than Moane in front of goal.
Those receipts are good.
Hold on. Our defenders all better than Moane.
All our defenders are better than Moane, yeah.
Sean, can I have an apology, please?
No, not at all. Not at all. Hang on now.
I'm
going back a little bit. Hang on.
I was at the game. I was at the game and I saw that comment came up and I was like enraged.
Van der Ven showed everyone what you do in front of goal. Put your foot through the ball, leather it, and make the goalie work to stop it. That's what you do. Moane, look, I hope he scores goals because we need a goal scorer. Everything, his all-round
here we go.
To hold up.
Moane. Laughing emoji. Moane is fucking shit. Who signed him? That's where you started. That's where they started.
He missed the chance in front of goal.
I want my apology now, please, Stel.
No, because Lubo's receipt cancels your one. It counts it.
Listen, what we do is he caused havoc. He caused his link play. All right, the end game wasn't great, but the link play between Xavi, Odegaard, and Moane was far better. I know it was against poor opposition, but it's the first time we've seen decent link play up front from 3 players that seem to know what they do.
I don't disagree. Can we agree on one thing then? Can we agree that going forward, that if Moane, right, can you bring up the receipt that Lubo put as well, not just the cherry picked ones?
Ready, steady, cook. How do you find the defendant, Your Honour? How do you find the injury?
Right, hold on. If we can find the defendant, then I'm going to bring up.
Guilty.
Can you bring up the part where Lubo? Look how quickly he clipped that. Can you get the bit where Lubo said Van der Ven's better than him in front of goal? Because that's what I was referring to.
No, you said. Still, you said that.
I said it.
I've got some more here. I got some more. Hang on.
In front of goal. Do
you know what's fucked up? I actually think Richarlison scores those chances Moane missed. And then you've also said... Then you also said Everyone is bigging up Mwani, but a proper striker would have volleyed that in the goal or took it down, then shot, but he takes it down and passes it. So you're criticising that unbelievable first touch that he laid off to Odebear, my boy Heisenberg. I can get these all up, but if you trust me not to do the screenshots, I'll just call them out as I see them.
No, you can bring them up. Listen, we're live. I'll say it now, live. In front of goal, Mwani for me was a big letdown on the day. In front of goal, he wasn't good. His play around it.
Tim said another Mwani miss. Sorry, but he's not a striker. No chance.
Is it a good thing though that he didn't take the shot? Maybe he didn't feel 100% safe with it and passed it across to someone who knew had a better chance of putting it in. I think that's
kill though.
All right.
What a kill, Dan. The ball, he killed that ball. It was absolutely magical.
At Spurs, I said it straight after the game, and others have said it. I haven't seen someone control that like since Berbatov at Spurs. He controlled that. It was good.
Dan, that was Berbatov at Charlton, wasn't it? Do you remember?
This is what I mean. Oh my God, we're playing against Copenhagen. This is Berbatov now. Fuck. This is what I mean.
I didn't say that. I said the way he controlled the ball.
I remember the moment. I remember the moment, Dan. Right, he kicked the ball. Keeper kicked the ball out. I was in the West Stand. I looked up. I lost sight of the ball. First game, Berbatov. The ball came down out of the sky, and he killed it and won. And everyone in the stand where I sat got up and applauded. I never forgot.
I'm not saying he's as good. I'm not saying he's anywhere near as Berbatov for me. He's a very underrated player. But
Berbatov did it against Arsenal. Berbatov did it against the big teams. Berbatov did it at the highest level, not against Copenhagen.
Did it in his first game at home.
Can we agree on one thing then? Can we agree that going forward, if Mwani comes off or we're going to bring on another striker, that the number 2 has got to now be Dane Scarlett?
Absolutely.
He's got to be given a proper chance at this football club, which is what I've been saying for a while. Why 100%.
Sure. Well, if Dimitar Mwanatov...
Dimitar Mwanatov... This is ridiculous.
Dimikoli Mwanatov. Dimikoli Mwanatov.
You lot are finished. You're all finished, I tell you.
I'd like to move on. I'd like to move past the cooking of Stell. I just need to hear that. I'm sorry, Sean. You're right. I did call him shit without any other context because that's how the story started. Before you got into the details about Van der Ven is better than him and our defenders are better than Mwani. Before you got into all of that stuff, the whole chat started with Kolo Mwani is shit. Yes or
Kolo
no?
Mwani was shit in front of goal. Yes, he was. Absolutely was shit in front of goal.
If only you'd sold it as that.
But listen, was better. Van der Ven was better. Brennan Johnson. Yeah, but you're showing one section of the chat. You're cherry picking.
No,
this is Labour politics. This guy's like Keir Starmer. This is Keir Starmer tactics.
Listen, I'm the host. I got the controls on the dial.
Let's be honest, right? I think we're all in agreement that Dane Scarlett should be coming on before Richarlison. Should he come off? I think we're all in agreement that one, yeah?
Yeah.
How did they even let him take that penalty? I know we was 3-0 up and every goal counts and everything like that and everything. How did they even let him take the bloody penalty?
The booing was too much, though, Dan. The booing was too much, mate.
Do you know what was that? I'll tell you what's out of order.
What do you mean too much?
It's too much. You're not booing the guy before he's even taken a fucking penalty.
Okay.
How does that help anybody?
Johnny, do you know what? Season?
I didn't hear that. And by the way, I know I asked you guys 4 times. Are you sure? I went back and saw loads of South Stand fans.
No. Massive boos, Sean.
Massive boos. Not little boos.
I went back and watched someone who put up on Twitter a clip of all the way through of him winning Scarlett winning the penalty, and then the debacle of who was getting the ball, and when the ball finally went to Richarlison, that there was cheers. But
he is the penalty taker, isn't he? In that situation,
yeah, he is the penalty taker. They put his arm round. Danso put his arm straight round Dane Scarlett, and everyone was booing, mate. It's a fact. He was booing. We all heard it clear as a whistle.
Johnny, do you know what?
I couldn't hear it on the clip that I saw. That's what I'm saying.
I've got no sympathy for Richarlison whatsoever. Last season, when we were, I can't remember what game it was, but we were leading by some margin. James Maddison gave the ball to Richie to take the penalty.
Yeah, but that was Brennan Johnson, mate. Brennan Johnson was going to take the penalty, and he took it off of Brennan Johnson. I was there. He took it off Brennan Johnson and gave it to Matthias Tell.
Now Southampton.
Yeah, fact.
No, there was the
Yeah.
where...
It was him. Honest. Well, I was there, mate. I was there.
Johnson scored the first two, didn't he?
Johnson. Took the ball off of Johnson, and Johnson was upset at having the ball taken away from him.
He wanted the hat trick.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about the game where Maddison gave up the ball to Richie for Richie to take a penalty.
Yeah, that was last season.
Yeah. So the other players, they do it for Richie, but Richie wasn't prepared to do it for one of our own.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Understand?
Yeah,
So Richie's all right to let his teammates help him out, but did Richie really need to get on the score sheet? Did he really need that fifth goal? Give it to Dane Scarlett.
Probably
That's
did
what I
need
mean.
a goal.
Do you know what? Still, I'm actually thinking about this. You know, if Richarlison is the designated penalty taker, he takes the penalties. You know, this is
Would Harry Kane have given it to Dane Scarlett?
No
chance.
no chance. This is a professional. This is a professional game.
At 4-0 up.
Doesn't
No
matter. It doesn't matter. We might need that extra. We might have needed that extra goal on goal difference because it's going to be tight at the end of the.
So you give it to Richarlison to take it then?
If he's the penalty taker, then he takes it.
Right. And if Richarlison is the legit penalty taker, then I'm going to question the manager. How can you have that as your penalty taker? He can't even score. He has got a badder shot as Timo Werner. Make me wrong. If the manager is saying that Richie is our legit penalty taker, then either we have got a load of crap penalty takers, or he needs a quick question on that one.
Only thing I would
should
say
not be
that
front of
was
that
2
goal.
inches away. That penalty was 2. If that penalty is 2 inches lower, it's one of the greatest pens you'll ever see.
But it was
it was a brilliant penalty, just literally centimetres. As was the
But
header.
it wasn't.
I'm trying to give him a little credit here.
As was the header.
Shit.
As was the header.
Do you know, honestly, man, like I just don't like it when Richie's happy to accept the ball off Maddison when it's Maddison's penalty. Maddison says, "No, go on, you have it. It'll do you some good." And yet Richie hasn't got it in him to say, "Go on, Dane, this will do you the world of good in front of your own. This will be amazing." He doesn't think about that. He thinks about him and he fucks it. That's what I didn't like about it.
To be honest with you, still, I
agree.
honestly thought Porro should have taken it. For me personally, you know, if you're gonna give it to somebody who's great at, you know, who's a dead ball kicker, then you know Richarlison doesn't take free
But
kicks.
Scarlett was the other striker on the pitch. That's the
I
point.
don't care who it is. You don't boot a fucking guy who's on your who's your
That was
player
wrong. That was
before
wrong.
he's even taken a penalty. I don't care who it is. You know, no one booed when Brennan Johnson took the ball off of Brennan Johnson, right, for his hat trick to give to Tell, when Tell at the time was the fall boy, the whipping boy, right? They gave it to him so that he could try and break his duck and try and get his confidence back, which is probably what.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Johnny. I think what you're saying. I think there's obviously no precedent, right? Because there has been an example where someone who needed a penalty has been given it, and there's also been a situation where they haven't, where they've taken it for themselves. I think Harry Kane would never have given up a penalty for himself. He's not thinking about other people. He's a selfish striker that's thinking about his own goal tallies and that, right? So I don't know. Look, I mean, it could have gone either way. I think I do lean with you, Stel, in that. In the specific example of Maddison giving him some charity, he could have given it back. But I think there's been a few different examples where they've probably gone. I think you just treat each example on its merit. But yeah, I think the fact that Dane Scarlett that won the penalty as well probably gives you a little bit more of a reason to give it to him personally.
Did win the crossbar challenge though, Richie.
Yeah.
He hit it twice. No one else managed to do that in the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I just feel if we're ever going to develop any of the youngsters that come out of our academy, it's moments like that helps develop them more. Put them in that big moment, give them the ball, go make a name for yourself.
What happened to this?
Well, Lubo, that's the risk you take in the development. But the point is, we didn't give him that chance. And this is why I don't want to make it about the academy, but this is why I get really angry when people slag off all our youngsters saying they're shit. That's why they don't play for Spurs. It's because we don't give them a proper chance. How do we ever know? It's moments like that, you know, just like the people that all slagged off Mikey Moore, go watch him at Rangers the last couple of weeks. He's playing brilliantly. He's playing absolutely brilliantly. And everyone, I just want to see the youth given a proper chance at this club. At moments like that,
tonight, by the way, Mikey's starting tonight under Roll.
He's playing well. He's playing really well. It's moments like that.
Unfortunately, they're 2-0 down.
At the end of the day, whoever takes the penalty takes it. Do you know what I mean? But it just bothers me that our youngsters aren't given that moment. They're not given that chance to develop at Spurs. And I personally don't like it, but it is what it is.
Mikey just had a shot that was blocked on the line through his body across it. Listen, Roma, they got Roma at home, Rangers, and Roma are second, I think, in Serie A at the moment. Good team, and they'll do well to get anything out of the game. But Mikey's, it just shows you, though, because Mikey went there and the abuse he was getting as an 18-year-old from the Rangers fans is nonsensical, as if it's his fault that Rangers imploded, not the manager so much, not the experienced professionals that have been there for years or months or what have you. It was all down on him when he had a manager that had no understanding of his position or any research into how he plays his game. Whereas Roll done his homework, consulted with Timo Werner of all people, and understood, his position and where he plays, and he's looked like a different player. Anyone who watched the Celtic game, which I did, when he came on in that game, the 70th minute, he came on. It was like unbelievable. Some of those passes were passes, guys, that we don't see at Spurs at the moment. One touch pass over the top, curling balls through. I mean, some of the passing was absolutely sublime. And I'm not just saying that as a huge Mikey Moore fan. These were facts. And suddenly the Rangers fans are all on board, like overnight, because football fans are very fickle.
Very fickle.
Of course, yeah.
We're the same with our youngsters at this club. The way we mug them is. Do you know? In some ways, I'm kind of glad that Mikey Moore went through that shit at Rangers, because if you can come out on the other side and do well, it makes you a much better player.
Absolutely.
It develops your resilience and mentality. The same thing happened to Saka. When Arsenal were dog shit under Arteta in the first couple of years, Saka rode through that wave, and now look at him. I'm not saying Mikey Moore will be the next Saka, but going through a rough period in your career can make you the person that you are in the future. So maybe Johnny, maybe it's a good thing he went through that shit as a learning curve,
Oh, well, when I spoke to people, whatever, they said it'd be the making of him, and I totally agreed. You don't want easy street. It's the hard times. Look at the hard time Harry Kane had with his loans at Orient, Leicester, and the likes. They're not all. It's not all champagne and roses. It's those dark moments and those hard moments that And you look at certain players like your Jadon Sanchos and your João Felixes, who have been feted since they were kids, and lauded like they're the big time Charlies. Now they can't be asked to move themselves, and there they are at 25. They're earning fortunes, massive amounts of money, but they're not really producing it on the football pitch,
I agree with you, John. It's the aspect of, for me, I know everyone's got a different scene in it, yeah? People these days of that generation are just a lot more softer, period. Forget football, they just are mentally softer. It's blunt and blatant. And I think a lot of people, and also a lot of fans, as soon as you say a bad word about a player, God, some people almost want to bring it up like you're bringing him through mental torture and he's going to have a breakdown just because you booed him off the pitch. Well, I'm sorry. If someone's going to pay £100 for a ticket, or someone's going to pay 40 quid a month for their bloody Sky or TNT, whatever, and that player or that team plays absolute crap, you have got every right to sit there and boo that player and boo that team off that pitch. Well, they all seem to want to have it all nice and shirty and everyone clapping for them when they play brilliant, and a lot of fans want you to say yes, he done brilliant, everything, but they don't want to hear the bad side. It's like of a game. A lot of supporters, they only ever want to hear the good side of a game, never want to hear the bad side. Oh no, don't worry, that game was just crap, don't worry, we'll put it under. No, I'm a firm believer that, okay, while they're on the pitch, you don't have to boo them. Wait until the end. If they've had a crap game, let them know about it. Let the manager know about it. Tell it about themselves. But again, this is where I think generations, it's too soft now. It's like they can almost do what they want. You can't say a bad word, and then they can come out and just do as they please. Well, no, you need to be told when you're not doing your job properly, especially when you're getting paid that money and people are paying that sort of money to watch that sort of game. grow a pair, man up.
Can I just say a little bit of news? I don't know how credible it is, and maybe it's the reason why he wasn't playing on Tuesday, but they're saying that Colin Mawani and Kudos were missing from training today. So hopefully it's nothing serious and it's just purely simple giving them a rest. Let's hope he hasn't got another dead leg.
Yeah. Well, if he's out, start with Dane Scarlett. Mawani's out.
Well, we'll come to that. Listen, we're going to talk about the Man United game in the second half of the show. Just want to do a couple of super chats and ask everybody to run the likes, guys. There's just under 700 people watching. It's big up to you all. Awesome for a Thursday night whilst the football's on as well. So I know that there's other options you could be doing, but appreciate you all. Please do. And the like button should be at about 300 and let's go for a 50% ratio. Should be at 350. Can we get to 350? Really appreciate it. I don't know what we're at, but I know we can be higher at. Just smash the like, drum the thumb. It does wonders for the channel. And make sure those subscribe buttons are hit. Also, all of the guys' channels, Stell's, Dan's, the channel that can't be named, and yours truly, 74 different channels. They're all in the description as well. So please go and smash and subscribe to the guys that are on the show. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Roy Viken, as well. Big up to you, my man. He says, evening, lads. Great panel tonight. By the way, best of luck to Stelios. Word is he's in for a bit of a pickle. We cooked him a little bit. Don't worry, I'm sure there'll be another chance to come back on him later on. Appreciate you, Roy. Thank you very much indeed, mate. I hope Norway's treating you kindly, buddy, up in the northern lights up there. Choppy Cheese, big up to you, buddy. He says, Wolfie, all fart, no shizzle. Forest nil, Sturm Graz nil in Austria. Yeah, not good for them. Not good for them. You know,
why haven't they beaten them, Sean? Why haven't they beaten them? Sure, they should have expected them to beat them. They're a shit team, the Austrians.
Yeah, exactly. No such thing as an easy game. Not in Europe, or not in the Champions League normally, but certainly. I mean, look, Sturm Graz, yeah, they should be there. They should be taking the points, but they didn't. So I think we have to give credit where it's due when there's a good performance. To be honest, appreciate you, Choppy Cheese. Spurs OC, big up to you over in California. Says, big up, fellas, great show. Lookman is a no-no. Then, yeah, we're going to talk about him and a few other stories towards the end of the show. An interesting story out. In fact, do you want to cover that one off now? Should we cover that story off quickly? I don't know if you guys saw it. Adamola Lookman, big transfer target for Tottenham in the end of the end of the window. Didn't happen. And we all know he's got questionable personality, but his relationship with managers isn't good, and he got subbed off against Marseille.
I asked some people who know better than me on the Italian front, and they said Juric, the guy who got sacked by Southampton, most people, the vast majority of people, are actually backing Lookman on this one. He grabbed hold of him. You don't grab hold of your player. And all the comments I've seen on the videos I've seen are all backing Lookman, which is unusual because the last spat he had, they weren't backing him. I don't know whether it's because they're against the board or just this manager. But I
don't know. But listen, the guy he's had two fallouts with Juric, the manager. He's had a fallout with the last guy, Gasperini. He had a fallout with the first manager he was with in Atalanta before Gasperini. I think there was one before Gasperini. He's had a couple of fallouts with teammates as well. But I don't know. But there's definitely question marks about there's no question marks about the player. I think he's a super talent. I think he's wildly improved since he left England. And he's a big game player. He's strong. He's physical. Takes players on. He scores. He's got great output, which is something we don't have. And I think he'd be really super affordable in January. But I don't know whether something like this happening is probably going to increase the likelihood of an easier transfer.
Yes.
But do you want a player, and does Thomas Frank want a player where there's a historical track record of arguments? I don't know. And whoever's at fault, at the end of the day, Johnny, if you're falling out with six people, is it all six of them that are the problem?
Personally, I would take a loan in January to get him out of there till the summer. and then see how he goes. But we all know about Frank's dickhead policy. What I do know is he's a tough nut. He scores goals, he creates goals, and he's a strong ox. He's got pace, and he's dangerous off that left-hand side. And if we can borrow him for 6 months from January, I'd take him. I wouldn't have a problem in taking him. I'd rather have him than not have him on that left-hand side, because we're going to need backup. If something happens to Odegaard, your boy, then, we got really no one down that left-hand side. I don't want to see Johnson down that left-hand side ever again. So
I think loan would be the better idea for it. I mean, his personality does leave a bit to be desired, but then you do question, what is the no dickhead policy? So does that mean any player that's got a bit of charisma, basically? Now, I'm not saying being late or anything is good. I can't stand that, whatever. But is that basically saying that any player with a bit of charisma or a bit of personality isn't wanted? Like, everyone just has to shut up and bide the line, basically? You're always going to get that one who's a bit shirty. You're always going to get that fella in the bunch that's got more charisma than the rest. If it's like what you're saying with 6 people, it's a bit much. I think it's a good idea getting him on loan for the next 6 months, as I think we could actually do better when it comes to buying someone. But
I think that's the problem. I think he was. I think we put in a loan bid for him on around deadline day, and Atalanta said we only let him go if he goes on a permanent.
Correct. So, maybe he meant no dickhead policy. He didn't want anyone that had been circumcised. I don't know. Maybe. But
he's worked with Ivan Toney, and Ivan Toney was known to be a bit of a donut. Like, I'm not even talking about his gambling thing, but he was just a bit of an arrogant geezer, wasn't he? So
it's players that cause a problem in the dressing room, isn't it? It's the players that are continually trying to show the manager up, cause issues, and create problems. Create cliques as well. It's it's a number of things.
If it was Eric Cantona, you'd take him though, even with the Seagulls.
Well,
that's a point.
Cantona.
Genius is flawed. Genius is flawed. Unfortunately, genius is flawed. Often.
Well, didn't Thomas Frank say? Was it yesterday or today? He said, that goal that Mickey van der Ven scored was absolutely sensational. He can walk past me in a half every day if he does that all the time. I'm paraphrasing, but words to that effect, right? He did say that.
Cantona leaving Leeds was nothing to do with being a dickhead in the dressing room.
No, but he was a very strong character. Remember when the Seagulls followed the trawler? Listen. Nothing like. Listen, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of kung fu. If any of that, imagine now, right? You're going to take a throw in. Jed Spencer's going to take a throw in, and someone gives him a bit of lip, and he runs to the corner and kung fu kicks him. Right? Today's game.
Zinedine Zidane. Was it in the World Cup final? He headbutted.
Yeah, he headbutted him straight in the chest. Yeah.
Yeah, in the World Cup final.
But you know what? But you didn't hear what was said to him, didn't you?
No, I'm sure it was something about his mother, wasn't it, or something?
It was, yes. It was a bit strong.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's move on anyway. Super sticker from Ulrika. Big up to you. I've got those sound effects. The super sticker train, ladies and gentlemen, has commenced. Choo to you. If everybody, there's 700 people here. If everybody put in a $3 super sticker to join the train, first of all, we'd be here for about 3 hours calling them all out, but also we would finally be able to get, that pretty looking dancing bird behind me that can keep us company, get the eye candy on the show. Appreciate you very much indeed, Ulrika Johnson.
And is she in the bath, Sean? Is she in the bath with the gin?
Right, you bitch. Tonic. Yep, get yourself out. I'm picking you up. And a user 4872 says, I love Levy, but since the last show, I love Lubo too. That's nice, isn't it? Very nice.
Sean, me and user, we're eating in now, mate. Not like you.
I don't care about Lubo.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm looking forward to Sean and Estelle marching down with Sean's new mate Billy T down the high road this season.
Yeah. Listen, if the January window is a shit show, absolutely, mate. I'm going to be going apoplectic. I ain't got no patience for this new this new breed of Enoch. No chance at all.
Yeah, fine. Don't worry about the kids. Don't worry about the kids.
Listen, they got one chance with me, one chance. All right, let's move on to the next segment of the show. And we're talking about. I know we spoke quite a lot about the home atmosphere for the last couple of weeks on this show. I wanted to bring up this lovely little graphic. Not this one. We've already covered that one. But this one here. The last 22 games at the Spurs Stadium in Europe versus in the Premier League. So you can see I've done it like the last letter is the most recent, and then the first letter for each is going back 22 home games ago. And in Europe, unless the data that I've seen is incorrect, which I don't think it is, we have won or drawn all of them. Of the last 22, we've won 18 in Europe, home games in Europe, and we've drawn 4. Not including PSG. I don't think that includes PSG, by the way. I think it's just in European competitions at the stadium.
Yeah.
But as in the Premier League, we have won 6, drawn 4, and lost 12. A stark difference.
Out of 22.
Yeah, the last 22 Premier League home games versus the last 22 European games.
Since the 3rd of November, over a year ago, we've actually won 4 games at home: Aston Villa, Southampton, Manchester United, and Burnley. That's it.
Yeah. So I think that graphic goes back just a little bit before that.
Yeah.
Most of it's last season, though, Johnny.
Yeah.
Most of the games are last season, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's the truth. That's the truth for the European football as well. Even under Ange, we were terrible at playing in the Premier League at home, but we were very good at home in Europe. And I just want to know what is the difference? Is it the standard? Is it the style of football that in European football we do better at home? Because we're atrocious away from home in Europe generally. We're very good at home. And in the Premier League at the moment, we seem to be very good away from home, but atrocious at home. I'm trying to figure out what the source of that sort of disparity is.
As opposed to Newcastle, fantastic at home and absolutely shocking away.
Quality of opposition. If you look at those European games, a lot of them were Europa Cup, easier teams. For example, even this year in the Champions League, we've had pretty much fairly favourable teams we've played at home. If you look at the Premier League, there's no easy game unless you play the bottom 3 or 4, really. They're tough games, and you've got to be a different team tactically. You've got to be a different team in terms of quality, and you've got to be quicker at making your adjustments. So for me, it's simple, Sean. Our European games in general have been a lot easier than the Premier League home games. Not all of them, because we lost to a lot of shit teams at home last year as well in the Premier League. Sorry?
We lost last year at home to Ipswich, right, and other shitty teams. We've been away from home for about 5 years in Europe.
Yeah, I think what it is that last year heavily skews the data in a very negative way towards our home form, because last year was an anomaly. One, we had this high-line football for a whole season that exposed us and teams figured out how to bypass it. Two, and this is where there's a bit of disingenuous behaviour going on amongst our fans, as soon as we knew that mathematically we weren't getting relegated, we completely mugged off the Premier League. I don't agree we should have done that, but that's what we did. We mugged it off and rested all the players. So we were hemorrhaging results at home on the basis that we didn't care anymore, or the manager didn't care. So I think if you actually look at it, we played better teams in the Premier League. I would say even some of the weaker Premier League teams that we've played are harder than some of the European teams we've played at home.
Look, that League Cup was harder to win than that Europa Cup. Let's be real.
Sure.
100%, Dan.
Yeah.
100%, mate. 100%.
Look who Newcastle win to win it last year.
Yeah, because the Carabao Cup, we had to play some Premier League clubs, right?
No, I'm talking about Newcastle. In winning the Carabao Cup, they beat City. Was it City? Did they beat City? They beat.
No, we beat City. We beat City. We beat United. We beat Coventry. And
they beat Arsenal.
We lost to Liverpool. They beat Arsenal. Sorry, you're right.
Look, Dan and Lubo, aren't you confirming my point?
Yeah,
they're the Premier League. They're the Premier League teams. Like playing the Premier League teams is harder.
I'm making you right. Still, I'm agreeing with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's what it is.
Which is
why I don't get carried away about beating Copenhagen. Sorry to bring it up again, but this is why I don't do it.
But still, that's why for me, Ange had to go, because he didn't have a Europa League competition level that Spurs were going to play in this season. And when he played against the top 10 teams in the Premier League last season, I think his record was something like 1-4, drew 2, lost 14. So you can't have a situation where a manager is getting that level of results against the top 10 in the Premier League. You've got to have a manager who can.
His results, Lubo, for Celtic in the Champions League were absolutely shambolic.
Dreadful, absolutely
dreadful. He had no pedigree in Europe, a top European competition. So I hear all the, Frank has never managed in Europe before. Totally get that. Totally get it. He's a virgin.
Yeah, but look at Frank's home form, which is the actual subject we're discussing. It's been abysmal. In fact, Frank's home form is the worst of any manager under ENIC that started at a club.
And Frank's away form must be the best.
Yeah.
But again, the question was about the home form. All right.
Well,
I know you want to deflect. I'm just bringing you back.
I'm not. I'm giving it balance here.
So you think
the whole thing's in reverse this season.
Yeah. You think that losing 15 home games last season was okay? Because that's what we did.
No, it's disgusting.
No, was it 15 we lost?
Disgusting.
No, we didn't lose.
Yeah,
15
we lost. Oh, hang on, we lost. It's 20 games, 20 home league games since that 4th of November. We played 20 games.
All I'm saying is he mugged off the Premier League once it was mathematically beyond relegation. He mugged it off. The last 7 games, it was a write-off. He didn't care.
I think he wrote it off before then.
I reckon he mugged it off when he realised he was a shit manager and he was going to go. As he said, he always knew he was getting the tin tack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always said he wins a trophy in his second season as well.
Yeah, he also said season 3's better, and we saw it actually.
Let's not make it an Ange thing. We're making it an Ange thing again, right? The home form. What's your reason for the home form being crap then? Because we're not going to blame the fans for Tuesday night, are we? No one's blaming the fans when we win.
Exactly. It's a disease that's carried on since November. We've stated this. It's been going on for a year.
Johnny, the style of play's completely changed. The tactics have changed. And the reason I think for the massive difference between the home performances, stroke results and away is that away from home, we play on the counter. Teams come onto us, we play behind them and into space, and we counter-attack and we score. And at home, we are far too slow progressing the ball up to the front players. We give teams plenty of time to drop back, organise themselves, get themselves into a low block, and we don't have the players apart from
Bournemouth and Chelsea both came on to us.
Hang on,
so that goes against what you said.
Hang on.
We don't have
the players collectively. Yeah, since beginning of the season, Simmons is getting himself sorted. Moan has not been fit. Kudus has been on his own. He can't do it all. And because of that, we've had.
Doesn't have to do it all though, Lubo. The team is far better than you give it credit for.
He's had not at home. We haven't, and there's been a real lack of quality in performances at home, Sean.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I think Thomas Frank deserves a lion's share of the blame for that. I think he sets us up not to lose, and that's the difficult thing to do when you're playing. When you're at home, teams are not going to come at you as much. But they want you. There's an expectation that when you're at home, you play with more of the ball, you make more of an effort, and then other teams want to come and sit off. But most of the game's been so boring because neither team has really wanted to do anything. So it's a game of hot potato because Tottenham have been set up under Thomas Frank to not lose. Apart from Copenhagen, which was the first time we've seen us play really nice football. And again, I'll acknowledge the point that it's against weak opposition. But up until now, again, you go to Everton. We set up to frustrate the life out of them and pick them off with set pieces. Yeah. Against Manchester City, we were a little bit better, but that's, again, the Manchester City thing. And most of the games away from home, the teams that come at us, we get a chance to pick them off because we're set up in a way that can do that. But at home, you have to throw a bit more caution to the wind. And when you don't, and the other team isn't doing it either, it just becomes a stalemate of boredom, and that's what triggers the fans to get super frustrated.
No, I
So
understand
to make out like this team only has Kudus as the only viable outlet is nonsense. We are going down. We use him too much. I think Dan made that point at the start of the show, and I completely think he's spot on.
100%.
That we used him too much because the rest of the team are sat there without the license to roam forward. I've shown you guys before that the heat maps of Polinia and Bentancur at home, they don't move past the halfway line unless there's a sustained period of horseshoe football at the top or for a throw-in or a corner kick until Copenhagen. And then obviously, so then it's a boring game that kind of manifests into a spiral. And so the players just go, well, give it to Kudus, he'll do something. And that's then you get teams that double mark you. My
one complaint, sorry, John, my one complaint here with Frank for home games is that you don't need Polini and Bentancur as a double pivot because it's too defensive. You know, you're playing a back four, you got a keeper, you got two CDMs. You don't need 7 defenders at home.
Yeah, but the consequence of that is that there's very little options to do other things with. So we just end up feeding it down to Kudus and expect him to just create magic, which he can't do if he's double or treble marked.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting Saturday because he split Polini and Bentancur, didn't he, for most of the match on Tuesday, and it worked very well. And Bentancur had his best game for a long time. I
just don't understand how. Look, all I know is in a year, forget Europe. In the Premier League, we played 20 games, 20 home games. Okay, and we've won 4 against relegated Southampton, Burnley, right? Aston Villa and Man U, right? That's it. Okay. It's got to be a curse. Does anyone know a gypsy who could go and piss in the corner? I don't know how many Arsenal shirts have been put in the foundations, but I just think it's like a virus that just has got into players' heads because clubs come to the stadium and they relish coming there. I don't know if it's the plush changing rooms and the away fans have got a beautiful pitch there and they feel at home and they've got the support. I don't know what it is. But we look like every single game. This is going on for a year, right?
But the
answer is there. The answer is there.
17 losses at home. We've won 1, so we won 4, right?
Yeah, but last season we went gung ho when we didn't have a back 4. Yeah, people forget that when people sit there now and defend Thomas Frank and say, you know, he hasn't got a full squad. He has Ange had Maddison and Ange had Decky. Thomas Frank has had a solid back 4 the entire season, apart from a couple of games from Romero. Hang on, Johnny, let me finish. He's had his apart from Romero missing for a couple of games. Thomas Frank has had the full strength back 4 and an unbelievable 6 that can to make us really solid. Ange didn't have that. Ange was shoehorning Archie Gray in, and Ange was playing Danzo lots of the times. There were people playing at fullback that weren't supposed to be fullbacks. So and on top of, so you have no solid back 4. We know the statistics show how vulnerable we were when those guys weren't in the team. And on top of that, we were playing gung-ho football. It wasn't like the games were boring at Tottenham last season. We just ended up being on the wrong side of the results. I remember people like Jamie Carragher saying it's Tottenham Hotspur are the best team to watch as a neutral because every game is unbelievable. Every game is fantastic. We were just on the wrong side of the results because we didn't set up the right way. Now, I'd make the argument that nobody wants to watch a Tottenham game.
We lost to Ipswich. We rested the entire team, right, to play Ipswich in Europe. So we would, we rested them in Europe so we could play them. We couldn't beat Ipswich. We couldn't beat Fulham. We lost to Bournemouth. We lost to Chelsea. We beat Southampton, who was shit, right? We lost to Liverpool. We lost to drew with Wolves. Lost to Newcastle.
We lost most of our games.
Yeah.
We lost 10 last season. We won 4, drew 5, lost 10.
Yeah, I mean, the home game, lost to Leicester. We rested his whole team. We lost to Leicester, who couldn't buy a win. Buy a win.
Look, with what you say about the midfield, yeah, I mean, I had a chat. If I remember right, I think I had a chat with you, Sean, yesterday about it, and also Michael and a couple of others today on mine. I do like the idea of Bentancur and Paulinia in the middle. They do bring out a very good side of each other and that. But I have been telling everyone for a long time now that Bentancur is actually a natural DM deep line playmaker. And I've been telling everyone for 2 years that he isn't one that usually likes to get forward. He's a deep lying playmaker, covers a DM role as well. So he's not really going to be your man that runs forward with a ball. And Paulinho definitely ain't that. He's more of an anchor man, ball winning midfielder. But the thing is with Bentancur, what makes him significantly better in one aspect than Sarr and bloody Bergvall is that he is actually our most progressive passer of the ball. He's actually the one who passes it forward most out of every centre mid we've actually got by quite a distance. Because Bergvall can't pass come love nor money, as all he can do is run forward with the ball and lose the bloody ball. Sarr, okay, better getting forward with the ball, gets the odd pass and the odd shot, basically. He is actually our most, if you actually check the stats, he is actually Bentancur is actually our most progressive passer of the ball going forward in midfield. But I think the answer is sitting there, but I know a lot of people don't like it. Question is, do we give it a go or not? Well, forget the back three thing, yeah? Everyone knows my opinion on that one. If you're going to play two in the middle, like with a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever, and you want one to do double pivot, basically, you want one to be the more defensive-minded one to actually run forward with a ball like a box-to-box, not just pass it direct. Basuma's there. Every game Basuma played for us, when he totally screwed up past 2 seasons, was 80% defensive-minded. He's not a defensive-minded player. Same as Porro. That's why most of their mistakes are always defensive mistakes. Basuma, he's actually probably the best player we've got who could get that ball, cover it forward, carry it forward, and actually get a good pass out of him as well to also come back and carry himself. Because Bergvall can't do the job come love nor money and gets bigged up way too much. I think he's made good progress, but bloody long way to go. When do you ever see a pass or a shot off him? He loses that ball 99% of the time. You know, I mean, and who else do we go and put there for it?
His pass accuracy, believe it or not, is exactly the same as Bentancur's.
Yeah,
he hardly ever passes it.
Yeah, the same Basuma.
Basuma's injured though, isn't he? Basuma's out for injury. He's got an ankle ligament issue. He's not going to be around for like until.
He reads the room.
No, I forgot about that. That he done his ankle.
He reads the room well, Dan. He walked onto the pitch in the Chelsea game across the pitch in red and white. Yeah, I mean the guy's clueless. We've probably done his balloons before he comes on.
No, I forgot he was injured. I forgot he was injured. So it makes it irrelevant.
Throw my 2 pence into this. I personally, I'm going to talk about the home games. I just want to see Frank adapt more in-game management than actually setting us up before the game, because you never know how a game's really going to go. You try and predict it, you try and guess it. But if it's not going our way, what I want to see is, for example, against Chelsea, we're being pressed the shit out of. Stop trying to play it out from the back. Just tell your players, right, midfield, push up, defenders, dink it over the press into the midfield, exploit the space. I want to see us, when we're losing the midfield battle, put another body in midfield, double up on Caicedo, shut him down. He's clearly their main man. Shut him down. I want to see us go to a back three in certain games where we're not progressing the play. Put Porro right wing further up the pitch and say, right, let's try and play with attacking fullbacks. Kudus, you tuck into the middle. I just want to see a bit of that at the home games when you can clearly see it's not going to plan. It's not working. If Frank could do that, which is what he did at Brentford, then for me, this isn't a conversation. I think we will begin to pick up a few more points.
Can you do that at Man U, though? Can you do that at Man U, like that? Play that high line, because whilst we put the ball,
it depends how the game goes, Johnny. It depends how the game goes.
Ad and Bueno will absolutely destroy us if we play that high line, ball over the top. Only Mickey can stop. Can he stop both of them?
No, Johnny, I agree with you. There's got to be a balance of let's set up to stop their threat, but let's not completely focus on that and negate what are our strengths. How do we exploit our strengths going forward? Can we be a bit more dynamic? And if we can find that balance, then I think a lot of these concerns and a lot of these conversations, they kind of get put to bed. But I don't see him changing it in games at home when we're just up against it. It just seems to be like, just keep going, but we're getting battered. You can't just keep going. He did the same against Bournemouth. Bournemouth were ripped. Semenyo was tearing us to shreds. It took him to the 80th minute to say, right, Jed Spence, you go that side. And guess what? He shut him down because Jed Spence one-on-one is bloody good. But it took him 80 minutes to do that. By then, the damage was done. It's little things like that. I just want to see it at home.
If you look at the way he's set up the last few games, I know they're away from home. Everton was slightly different. Played Johnson wide, played Kudus off him, slightly further back, but further infield, which was different. Then he went to Newcastle. They mixed that up a little bit as well, and he changed it. He changed it around a bit. And Bentancur played as a 6, and all of a sudden you've got balls getting forward through the middle. Bentancur with Polina, all he does is pass square. That's all he's been doing all season.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he does not.
I see it with my own eyes, Dan.
Well, mate, you need to get some glasses, then, and he passes the ball forward. Go look at the stats. I've got them here. He passes the ball forward more than any centre mid we've got. That's the joke of it.
Let's see him pass the ball the way Romero cuts through, puts those balls straight through.
Right, so what do we do then? Do we rely on Bergvall to run the ball forward and lose the ball all the time? Obviously, we ain't got Basuma. Do we rely on Sarr? He's in the wrong spot. He's an athlete through and through, and on his day, good one. But his passing is very questionable, and also shooting gets one in here and there. But overall, he's not exactly the man that can progress it forward and give you that pass. Our best passer of the ball forward last season, centre mid, and when he has played, and also so far this season, is Bentancur, the last I checked it up. And I'm just looking at it on here.
Sorry, mate. Got to show you this.
Go on. He's been our most progressive passer up until when?
That's not a good indictment.
Forward.
That's not a good indictment.
Compare it to the others on who passes the ball forward the most.
Progressive carries per 90, less than 1. Progressive passes per 90.
Compare it to the rest.
Well, this is versus
the rest
all
don't pass it forward. Because the rest don't pass it forward either. So the stats say on here.
Hold on, Sean, show me again. So one graph is the passing, the other one is the carries.
This is carries per 90.
Yeah, carrying. That's not his strong point.
Yeah, but the passes looked okay to me. No?
On the y-axis is passes, x-axis. I think that's.
Look at the other graph. Look at the graph next to it.
This one over here.
Key passes. Key passes, pass completion.
A key pass is a pass that leads to an assist. Sorry, a pass that leads to a shot. Not necessarily an assist, but a pass leads to a shot. So again, very few. But 0.1
forward passing with the ball, Sean. He's the main one that does it. Because Bergvall don't do it. The only thing Bergvall does is really run forward with the ball, which he's good at, but then he loses it too much. It's the bit he needs to improve on.
Dan, are we talking about just passing the ball forwards or effectively passing it forward? Because there's a difference.
I'm talking about who gets the ball forward the most with the passing. Who's got the one who passes the ball forward? Okay, it don't always go, but then you look at others. They pass the ball square more than anything, or they're trying to run and lose the ball.
I don't think we've got an issue passing the ball forward. I think we've got an issue effectively passing it forward.
A good direct ball, you're saying?
A ball that penetrates the opposition and sets a winger away, or sets an attacker away, or gets.
I get your point. I get you.
I get your point. You see that pass to Brennan Johnson for Johnson's goal. Mm-hmm. Was it Simmons that made that pass?
Yeah, Simmons. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'll tell you what, Dan. I'll give you something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I get your point.
That's what I mean by an effective. That's what I mean by an effective pass. Okay. Forward.
No, I misunderstood the question then.
If it's just passing it forward,
meaning just getting the ball forward.
Yeah, because
I misunderstood it.
Here's a real damning insight into our midfielders, right? So all 4 midfielders, Polina, Bergvall, Sarr, and Bentancur, all overlaid on each other, and relative to everybody else in the Premier League, it's not pretty looking.
Everyone else in the no, it's not.
So in terms of progressive passes, the green is Bentancur. So Bentancur is marginally better.
That's what I was on about.
Yeah, fair enough. Marginally better than Polina, who is marginally better than Sarr, and Bergvall is pathetic.
But by running forward with the ball, Bergvall is absolutely useless.
See,
he runs about.
Can you see? Yeah, but can you see what that graph shows? This is the point I was making. If you look at forward passes, we've got 2 players that are not too bad at it, just passing forward. But actual effective passes, like key passes, progressive passes, you can see that's where, especially progressive passes, it's ineffective. We don't have players that effectively make one pass and creates an overload, or splits a defense, or sets the winger free. It's that brain up there that says, what decision do I make?
That's what you
gives
need.
Us the advantage going forward.
Still,
Go and get this geezer, Locatelli. That's exactly what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what we're talking about now.
That's what we need. You know?
Yeah, the point I was making is out of all our midfielders, which aren't exactly good passers as such, he is actually our one who passes the ball forward. But then I get what you're saying still, he doesn't do a direct cutting ball that opens it up as such.
Yeah, killer pass. There's no killer pass.
No, I get what you mean. But
can you put Romero on this graph? Just out of curiosity.
I'm not sure if it will take a defender. So have a look. I don't think it will. Nah. It doesn't. It won't do it.
Can we just do one of Romero on his own then?
Yeah, hang on.
We're a different team when he doesn't play.
Locatelli would be a player that I'd love to have here. It'd be perfect for what you're asking for.
Oh, no, error. He hasn't paid the bill.
You wouldn't say no to Gallagher, would you, as well? Conor Gallagher.
Gallagher, I think he's another good player. Didn't really rate him 2 years ago, but I do now.
Yeah, he's starting to tick a bit for Atletico. Scored on the weekend.
Nice goal last night, Johnny.
Yeah.
But these are what's like in the percentages, right? So if you're at the top end, then you're in the best at doing it versus other centre backs. So progressive passes, it looks like it's got a bigger slice, but then relative to other centre backs, it doesn't necessarily mean it's comparable against midfielders. But listen, I've looked at all of the stats on FBrefs and Wyscout. I can absolutely confirm categorically that Romero is the best passer that we have at the football club for progression, for accuracy, for frequency, and that's why I think that. By the way, we've got to talk a little bit about this, right? So
Sean, are you saying Romero's our best attacking mid and Van der Ven's our best striker?
Well, like just listen, kind of, right? Not dissimilar to what you were saying earlier. I was burying you.
We have two of the best centre backs in the Premier League.
We do.
Question.
In the final third.
Pedro Porro is one of the best passers of the game as well, which is why I never subscribe to the notion that if you're going to play a 4-2-3-1 and people are going to pick holes in Polinia for his passing, when you have Romero to hand the ball over to that can do that job for you, or to Pedro Porro, or you can look to your left and give it to Mickey van der Ven, who could break the line with his runs, I said that it's not a problem. But now, after what happened yesterday, people like Jamie O'Hara that are sitting there suggesting that, that Mickey van der Ven could become a Gareth Bale type player if you shoehorn him out to a left wing back in a back three, and he was even going mental and saying he could end up playing as a right winger or a 10 or something in the future, which is silly. But my argument, I think Dan and I are on the same page in this one. I personally think that people need to stop thinking of a back three as a defensive formation. You play Romero in the middle, let him step up into the DM role and then do that progression. And then you have Mickey van der Ven that can do that, what he did last night. He doesn't have to take it all the way, all the time and try and score worldies with it, but he can progress the ball with his carrying ability. The problem is asking him to do that or giving him the license to do that in tough games. If he gets picked off in a back four, then you have a real problem, right? But if you do it in a back three, when the other two are stayed behind, then he can have the license to roam forward and do that kind of galloping like a horse thing.
Sure, Saturday, didn't it? Happened Saturday, he got picked off.
He did get exactly, Lubo, 100%. So to me, I'm sitting there thinking, every day I do my transfer news, views and clues. Why is it we're constantly linked? Every day we're linked with half a dozen different centre-backs. And I'm like, we've got enough centre-backs, haven't we? Well, we do if you're just looking at a back four model, and that when you see Radu Dragusin and Kota Takai eventually coming back. But in a world where you wanted to go to a back three, you would need to have 2 or 3 additional centre-backs in case there were injuries.
Yeah.
And for me, I just think that maybe it makes sense that Tottenham are looking for more centre-back cover because they have the intention at some point to go to a back three model.
You look at this team, I've said it for 2.5 years now to everybody, and nothing has changed at the team. We've got better players in positions we already had covered. We already had a right winger, Johnson. Okay, we got better for that position. We got better for the central. This team has still got a 3-4-2-1, 5-2-2-1, whatever you want to call it, written all over it for the best. We always play best, I'd say 8 times out of 10, whenever we are forced to play counter-attacking direct football. And that is how we've looked best for about 2 years, bar the odd game here or there. Now, as soon as people hear 3 at the back, a lot of people think, that's defensive. You can play some of the most attacking football of your life when you've got 3 at the back. You can literally charge that whole team forward and you're covered at the back. Like you said, the centre one can either drop deep and leave it to the other 2, or he can come forward to a bit of a DM role. And then think of it this way. You've got Adoji on the left, you've got Porro on the right. Then in the middle, you can have Bentancur and Paulinho there, or you can put Sarr there. In front of that, you then put Kudus more into the middle of a cam, takes out the problem of him getting boxed out of the game, because try and box out him in the centre, not as easy. Then we take out the problem of having a shitty left winger. Just don't play with a left winger. Put Simmons there and put Wane there. And then Porro doesn't get focused on and totally cooked every single game because he can't defend. There is your 3 main problems out of the game.
Yep.
And next season you'll have Vuskovic back as well, who is going to be.
Will he play? Will he play?
I think so. I think he'll walk in back. I think he'll walk into that team after the year. If he carries on having the year he's having at Hamburg in the Bundesliga, he'll walk back.
Who's he going to play ahead? Because we've signed Danzo, Dragusin's coming back. You've already got 2 centre backs. Who is he going to get the minutes ahead of?
We're already looking at a left-sided player from Wolfsburg.
Yeah, Konstantinos Kavakios.
I'd say keep him on loan. I'd say that's the smarter thing to do. He's a young player. He comes back into that Spurs team. He's going to have his game time halved at least. Keep him out on loan. Go stick Archie Gray with him. Go get Odegaard with him, and bring in the experience that we need. Well, I'm sorry, I have to mention him because he's a young player.
Gray's going to have plenty of games this season. You watch when he comes back after injury.
Okay. Sorry, God forbid I had to mention the name, but he is part of the young players that should bloody be out on loan. Like you can see with Vuskovic, it's definitely doing him bloody favours, isn't it?
Wait and see. Yeah, we're all moaning about midfield. Wait and see.
So Yeah.
I'm free.
We've been saying this every week since we signed him, and we're still waiting. I mean, when does this madness stop? What date is the cut-off point?
It's not.
I need a date for my diary.
Still, out of everyone on the panel, how many of us here would say that they would like to see us start and play 3 at the back? Me for one.
Oh yeah,
I've been saying it for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Just so that's 4, 5, all 5.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. But I think the problem is that at the moment, when you've only got 3 centre backs that are fit, you can't do it.
Yeah,
until you get some back. Because if one of them gets injured in the 5th minute or gets a concussion or whatever, or sent off, then you have to pivot to a back 4 again, and that can throw your whole game back.
Rumour has it though that since Bergvall got concussion, he now thinks he's Moses Caicedo, which is fantastic.
He won't come out of his coma with a Chinese accent or something.
When Dragusin comes back in and starts getting some game time behind him, even if we're not playing 3 at the back, you can already see that Frank knows how to play defenders. The only one that he's just not getting right is Porro, because he's playing him as a right back when he's not. You watch, when Dragusin comes back, he's going to be used as an old school sort of John Terry player, not putting him on the same standards. No nonsense, centre back. Do the dirty work, do your job, like a Danzo, basically. And you watch, there is a good player there, and I think people are going to see a significant change in him when they actually see him play a couple of games. Like, everyone has taken a bit of a love to Danzo because he just gets in there, does the bloody job done, nothing fruity about it, just does it, gets it clean. Good in the air, good enough on tackle, got some power on him. I think Dragusin, you're going to see a very different player there when we see him get some games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Dan. I think a back 3 model will suit him, and also just the lower line will suit him as well.
He played that in Italy on the left and in the centre of a back 3 and was bloody good at that.
I was going to say, Dan, when he brought him in, the Don brought him in, I just couldn't understand the mentality of bringing in a person who played in a 3 and then was in a low sort of low block 3 to suddenly play in a high line 4. Anyone who watched him for Romania in the World Cup or European Championships, I can't remember. I think it was European Championships. Absolutely outstanding. He was the last line of defence over and over again because the system suited him. And for him to get absolutely slaughtered like he did against Karabag when he got sent off after a few minutes and that kamikaze football that we were playing. And he's never been able to shake it off. And
John,
if you heard fans now, Dan, you know, you mentioned Dragusin, and it's like you've just accused their mother of being a whore. Because
the problem with Dragusin was he's not good. He's not, what's the word? He's not flexible. He can't do a Van der Ven, go up to the halfway line and spin it like he's part of the bloody Avengers. Yeah. But he takes a proper horseshoe turn to turn round. He's quite
good in the air, though. He'll be a good player.
Yeah.
I think we all like to see it back. I think we have to agree that it can't happen until it can happen, right?
Yeah. You got to play him on the right. You got to play him on the right or centre. He looked when Ange played him on the left centre back at Fulham when we got smacked 3-0 a couple of years ago. He looked horrific.
Yeah, I think. Listen, again, just quickly, because we've got to move on. We've got half hour left, and we've got a few more topics for us. But I think there's this notion that I've heard Ange saying that a defender can play either side, a midfielder can play anything. I know he knows more about football in his sleep than he's forgotten more about football than I'll ever learn. I get that, but to me, you see it every time a right-footed, right-sided, traditional right-sided player gets shoehorned onto the left. They look all out of sorts. It doesn't work. It doesn't work
when they carry the ball out, it just doesn't work. Look at Spence on the left.
He did it in Italy
every time.
Yeah,
he did it in Italy. Played on the left of a free or in the central.
Sorry,
I'm not saying that he can't. For me, I would like to see Vescovic being, before he gets set in his ways, I'd like to see if he could be trained to play on the left-hand side. Because just because you're right-footed, it doesn't mean that you can't. There's loads of good right-footed, left-sided centre-backs. But if you spent your whole career playing on the right side, then to get asked to play on the left, it's fish out of water stuff. I just want to move on, guys. Before I do, I've got a quick couple of one super chat here.
Good point, Ulrika. Very good point.
When will Sean sub Bonnie Blue for Lily Phillips? Once Bonnie Blue has passed its sell-by date, I will then move on to Lily Phillips to make my point. Thank you very much, Ulrika. Maybe I'll use you in the future for my analogies about being a bit open at the back.
Wow. Has been a bit rancid. Bonnie Blue's become a bit rancid. Lily Phillips is still fresh.
She's still
only
fresh.
1,000 down. Only 1,000 down.
Big up to you, Ulrika. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Quick little moment here for our man Daniel Levy. Who managed in, what's the word, post-mortem or post-posthumously, after his death and exit from the football club, he still managed to claw back a cheeky 11 million quid from the exit, the early exit of that Grenadier 4x4 sponsorship. A ridiculous amount of money that sponsorship was worth just to have an official 4x4 car for a football club. I can't understand the value, but they did get their stitching on the old subs bench. Lubo, I'll let you go first on this one. About time you gave Daniel Levy some credit, or was this one you giving this one to Vinay or to Charrington? Who are you giving this one to? The lawyers? What are we doing here, mate? What are we doing?
Listen, he's not involved at all, but he obviously set the ball rolling. And listen, you don't have to be a genius if you've got a contract with somebody and they break a contract and it's worth a lot of money. Off you go. You go to the lawyers. At the end of the day, the law works very simply. What's in black and white is in black and white. And if you think you're playing red and blue, then like Jim Ratcliffe did, then he's going to lose, isn't he? And he's obviously not let it go to court, and there's been an out of court settlement. And Levy's very good at making money. So,
Well, come on, Lubo. We've all seen the film My Cousin Vinny. He's a lawyer. He wins all the cases. As soon as he heard My Cousin Vinny was involved, the 5 million he owed us. He owed 5 million, sure. He owed 5 million, right? And he's ended up coughing up 11. So whether it's Charrington, whether it's Levy, or whether it's Vinny, right? It's 11 million that will go into the coffers somewhere or other. It will help. I reckon now with you guys coming on board from sponsorship, the former guy who worked with Nike and all the other guys who have come on board, I reckon we got some big deals that will be incoming. We've heard that AIA will be moving to the track training kits automatically instead of the main kit, which will mean finally, hopefully, we won't have any red sponsor on the front. But
get that off.
I reckon there's a big sponsor incoming that's being planned, and they're moving aside. I think there's lots of good news to come. I'm still waiting for an official bed sponsor. I want to see an official bed sponsor, official coffee sponsor. I want to see sponsorship deals for everything.
Same. I want to see an official sponsor of the official sponsor.
Yeah.
That's what
I only want to see sponsors if we don't spend it on greys and tells and this nonsense.
What about a grass sponsor? A grass sponsor.
look at Lubo.
Grass.
Because you see, it's a bit like the government raising taxes and then spending that money on absolute guff.
Like it does. Like it already does.
And you are going to apologise big time to me on here when Gray's bloody storming it, mate. You will apologise big time.
Yeah, and Ian, by the time that happens, mate, I'll be pushing you onto the bloody pitch for God's sake.
Lubo, do you know what I don't understand? Right, it's not that you defend him; it's these big, bold, massive headline claims that you attach to him. They're just outrageous.
He is going to be a superb footballer for Spurs.
He's going to be a very good player.
He's given the opportunity. As I heard Brian Daigle say on your show today, Dan.
Well, if he ain't getting no bloody game time, he ain't going to get no experience, is he? Get him on loan, get him some experience, like we're doing with the other young boy you like, and give him get him to that stage. Just playing the odd game or here or there. Because when the whole team is there, he's not getting picked in front of Bentancur, Paulinia, Sarr. He can't even get in front of bloody Bergvall. You want him to improve, so go put him somewhere like we've just done with the defender, where he's going to play game in, game out. Different opinions. I think a player learns better through experience than sitting there with a bloody notepad next to a good player.
It's the only way they learn, man. It's the only way they learn, by playing the game.
I agree.
By playing the game, you're not learning.
Personally, I think Gray will probably go on loan in Jan.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think
you know what that means, don't you, guys? He'll be playing.
No, the second that he goes on loan, Bergvall and Pape Sarr are going to have a double concussion in a training ground incident.
Yeah.
Polinia's going to break his toe. And
we're going to try and get him back.
So Ian, last bit I was saying it, John, one thing I just want to mention on that.
And we'll still be better with Gray on loan.
Go on,
so you think he'll go on loan in January?
I think he'll go on loan in Jan.
So that's why he's going to see significant game time, like you just said 5 minutes ago.
my personal opinion. If he hadn't have been injured, Dan, I think he'd have played a bit in the last couple of games.
Okay.
He would have played against Copenhagen for sure.
Can I just mention, Sean, that I feel it's night time though. The fact that Thomas Frank constantly mentions Solanke's on the grass. Takai's on the grass. Everyone's on the grass. It's time we sponsored the grass, right?
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if it's a Danish word for marijuana.
I don't know, mate. We got Solanke on the grass. We got Basuma on balloons. Fuck knows. No wonder we got 10 players out. We need some sponsorship, mate.
What about that stadium name?
I don't want sponsorship if it means we're going to flood the team with shit. It actually makes us weaker having these players. If we're going to get sponsors and we spend it on Paulinas and Kuduses, I'm
talking about sponsors to bring in proper sponsors and proper money. You know, proper money.
But it's got to be spent well, otherwise we end up. See, what happens is we get more money because we have spent more money over the years, and we flooded the squad with absolute guff. There's so much shit in this. Richarlison. Imagine the sponsors looking at the money. We gave you that money to buy him. Is this what we're doing here? They're degrading the sponsorship deals by having these players associated with the brand.
We also gave the money to buy Vicario, Mickey van der Ven, Romero, Bentancur,
but that's great.
That's Pedro Porro.
You're never going to get them all right, are you?
Destiny Adogi. Can I
oh my God, Johnny! Will you spend every week telling me that Frank's got the hardest job in the world because his squad's shit?
No, I said that most of them are out injured at the moment, but the majority of that squad is still the squad that bloody the Don brought in 2 years ago. It's still the mainstay of the bloody squad because since he's been gone, we haven't really kicked on. We haven't really.
We bought in Mateus Tell for 35 million before.
Hopefully, these players that we bought in the window. Hopefully, the players we bought in the window, right? The Mawani, the Kudos, and the Xavi will kick on. But we all said when that window closed that we needed a left winger. We could have done probably with a top striker or other players. We'll see.
Yeah, but maybe we could have signed a good left winger if we didn't spend 35 million on Mateus bloody Tell.
Yeah, but no one knew that deal was for the 84th time. That deal was done before he kicked the ball for us. And before he kicked the ball for us, everybody in the fan base went mental at the idea of us trying to get him, then losing him to United. Then when he came back, everyone was happy. And then when it turned out that...
Sean, I went crazy when we signed him.
He might be the only one, mate. Maybe the only one. But I remember everybody, like the vast majority of the fan base, were about to lose their shit when it looked like United were going to gazump us. Then they turned around at us. You had Mark Goldbridge, you had Robbie Lyle, we had all the big teams, all the big channels of all the other teams going, how is Mateus Tell going to Tottenham? And then Tottenham fans got all moody when we found out the only way he was going to sign for us on a permanent was if he wanted to make the deal permanent. And if it was like, oh, he's just going to use us as a platform to go off and do bigger things, so it's a nothing burger of a signing.
Yeah,
that was
they're
when
the same fans.
Principle. That was when it was
they're the same fans, though. They're the same fans that gaslighted Richarlison because he scored 2 bangers against Burnley. So I don't really buy into what the fans do online. You can see them.
No, it wasn't those fans. The other fans did that. The fans that I like, the fans that I appreciate, the ones that...
Oh, right. So cherry picking again. Here we go. Cherry picking again. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we have a higher educated sort of fan on Football Inc., I guess.
By the way, Sean...
The proper fans are the ones that agree with me.
What channel did you say there?
Sean... Can I just say one thing? One comment from Glug Pickwell at 9:43.
Glug,
who gives a flying 4x if AIA is red? I do, and most Tottenham fans do, Mr. Glug, because you do not have red on Tottenham's shirt ever. That was one of the biggest faux pas that Davey made.
Right. So if someone comes in here and says, right, we will sponsor your club for excess amount of money. So if
this club is not red,
mate, you know, there's a word Ian for things like that, and it's called sentimental.
No red, and that's stupid.
Look, I don't care if the money comes from Colombia, for God's sake. Yeah, as long as it gets spent properly. I don't care. I just want.
Okay, in that case, Dan. In that case, if someone gave you a nice chunk of money, but you've got to have a giant flag of a dildo outside your house for the next 2 years, would you do it?
All day long.
For enough money.
I've already got an England flag outside it, so all I need is the dildo.
No red. Everyone knows.
Just quickly say, super quick. The only red I want to see is on Spurs 5 when Lubo loses his shit over the most random things. On Tuesday night, he went from absolutely calm, peaceful Lubo to losing his shit about the IFAB. He went mental about the
referees. Football.
And tonight the colour red on the sponsorship.
Have you seen some of the penalties given in the Champions League this week that are a joke? That IFAB are killing this game, I'm telling you.
The best one was Marseille. The Marseille game, where it was an absolute blatant penalty, right? Handball. And within that motion, instead of getting the handball, they went off the other end and smashed the goal in. Should never. Atalanta scored, didn't it?
And Johnny, what about that penalty Arsenal got for their first goal?
I know, terrible. Terrible.
Have you bought any Spurs shirts? Just out of question, have you got any Spurs home shirts?
Not with red on them.
There's red on it. I refuse to wear it.
No,
that's what I was asking. Are you that sentimental with it that you won't even buy the shirt for it?
No.
Lubo is incredibly petty about some very, very important.
It was just a question. It was just a question.
I'm going to back Lubo. I'm going to back Lubo here. In an era of where identity culture is being eroded left, right, and centre, if you don't keep that and maintain it, then who are you anymore, right? We are the Lilywhites. The Lilywhites, not the Lily Reds or the Roses. We've got to keep that going. It's who we are. It's who we are, mate.
My missus knows.
Blue and white. That's who we are.
My missus knows, Dan. My missus knows. No red cars. My missus knows. No red cars. No red nothing. Right? So
no red in this house.
No red.
Right. Guys, listen, we've got 15 minutes at a push. We've got to talk about the United game. So let's stick to that just very quickly. Oh, I've done that one already. Thank you very much for that one, Ulrika. Guys, last 15 minutes. Guys, please do smash the like button for us. There's been 670 people here, give or take, whatever, for the whole show. Really appreciate that, but please do hit the subscribes as well. Last section of the show, I know we've got to do Stell's predicciones, kind of a fait accompli when I'm involved in the competition, but it is what it is. Dan, I'll start with you, my man. United, big game. What's your tactics, your thoughts, your fears? And just kick us off.
I think if you weigh the teams out, I think it's a very even game when you come to overall players as such. I think in the middle, pretty balanced. I think we've possibly got stronger there. I mean, their midfielder, I think he's past his sell-by date. I can't, what's his name? The one from Real Madrid. I think he lasts about 40 minutes. Yeah, but I think he usually lasts about a half, and then he definitely comes down a level. Defense, I would say we're definitely stronger. Up front, there are who isn't a light year ahead of us? I mean, we're lucky to be Premier League players there. But if they proper come at us and we end up going at them with a more counter-attacking direct style, which I think will have to happen because they do have some pace on the flanks, I do think we can come out of that game 2-1 winners. I think both teams are quite even. Last season said it. I think they've made better buys than us overall, but I do think it's quite an even game. I do think we can win it 2-1 because I think we will get forced to play on a counter-attacking manner where they're going to come at us with some pace on the flanks. I think we can catch them on the counter, 2-1.
You know, United have got one injury, Lisandro Martinez. That's it, one injury and no doubts, and one game a week. So, they've hardly played any games this season, which is why they look remarkably fresher than some of the teams they're playing. So
I can understand
that. Look, we've beaten them 4 times in a row. We're going for 5 in a row. But, for me, I think this is a lot harder than people, some people say, we should be beating them hands down without question. But I think we can all see that this Man United team in the last 3 weeks is far better than the ones that we've seen for the last 18 months, I would say, probably. Matheus Cunha is probably one of my favourite players from last season, as Mbeumo, and Ahmad is a real danger, and those 3 are starting to show their form with Fernandes, the little dirty rat. I can't bear him, can't stand him. He's the player you hate, but you wish
he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. And Sesko desperate, for a goal. I'm with you in the sense, Dan, that attacking wise, they're quite frightening. Defensive wise, I'm not really too worried about them in that respect. It's how effective can our offense be to counter them.
Yeah, I agree.
Johnny, what's your prediction? Just to remind you, you're bottom of the table. So
I don't mind. I don't bottom of the table. I lose sleep over 3-2 to Spurs.
See, the reason why you are bottom of the table, Johnny, is because you don't lose sleep over this stuff. To me, I am racking my brains. The amount of times I've texted Stell going, mate, let me change that prediction. Change that prediction from 2. I think it was against the Everton game. I went, change that prediction from a 2-1 win to 2-2 or something, or 0-0 or whatever it was. And Stell went, what's happened? What's happened, Sean? What's happened?
Do you know what? I think we need to make a new rule. Whatever you say on this live show cannot be changed on WhatsApp. So whatever you go with here, there's no changing of the. Oh,
you're trying to load the dice against me, are we? Okay, fair enough. What did you say, Johnny? Sorry, what was your score prediction?
3-2 Spurs.
Tottenham. All right, Lubo, what's your thoughts on the? Oh, Dan, we'll get you an honourable scoreline as well, mate.
Dan went 2-1, didn't he?
Oh, did you?
2-1.
He can be the guest scorer.
Guest scorer, yeah. Lubo?
I'm going 2-1 Spurs. I think we'll play well. I think this will be the home game and the performance that the fans have been waiting to see all season. I genuinely do think that I think he may have 1 or 2 surprises up his sleeve with the team selection and maybe team tactics. Listen, he's made mistakes with playing a double pivot at home. Some team selections I wouldn't have gone with. But overall, when you look at it, and I think if we do win this, and we're sitting top 4, we're sitting 10th out of 36 in Europe. I think Frank has done a good job up to now. I really do. I'm going for the 3 points on Saturday. 2-1.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I'm not as worried about United as you lot. I hear the idea that they've got one game a week and not that many injuries, but I think we've marked their card. I think we've beaten them 4 times on the bounce last season. We're going for a 5th. We had a little micro win in the courts today as well. I think that everything points to me towards the momentum against United. When Tottenham are playing a team that happens to have Manchester in front of it, we own them. We own City, we own United, and I think that nothing's going to change in that regard. I don't think it will be an easy game, but I think if we pick the right team, for me, the team has to look like Vicario, Pedro Porro, Van der Ven, Romero, and Udogie. And then I think you have to probably see Palhinha come back in. I don't mind if he wants to do like a Palhinha or a Bentancur and Sarr or a Palhinha. I don't care what combination of those 3 players that are in the double pivot. And at the top end of the pitch, I want to see Kolo if he's fit, Kudus hopefully he's fit, Xavi in the 10, and my man Heisenberg on the left hand side. And I think that Odebear and Udogie can cause a lot of mischief. I think the momentum against Copenhagen is going to stand us in good stead. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Tottenham, and I think it will be another lovely day to go and bully Kaz from Never a Foul on Sunday morning. Looking forward to it.
Can I just say what your scores are and my score is? If it turns out that both Kudus and Mawani are not playing,
then we're in trouble.
Yeah. Then that's a completely different. It's completely different.
Is that new rule that you're putting in around changing?
Oh no, I'm just saying we're making this call. We're making this call pre this news that came out today that they weren't training today. And Mawani, let's be honest, Kolo Mawani and Kudus both missing from training today is alarming. Yeah.
When we played in the European Cup final, we had no Bergvall, no Kudus, no Maddison. You have to adapt, so we can't.
I know, but come on now, come on. You're not going to tell me that we are.
If Kudus is out, then we might not. If Kudus is out, then we might as well not turn up.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying that.
Kudus and Mawani. I'm saying if Kudus and Mawani take Kudus and Mawani out of that team, and we're a fraction of what we are from an attacking point of view.
You've also got, funny, Jordan mentioned about Vicario, but did everybody see Vicario run from one end of the pitch to the other when Mickey scored?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've got it.
It didn't look too bad then, did it?
Yeah. Now listen, I hope they're back. I hope they're all fit. If they're not fit, then it probably changes everything. But if we're all going for home wins, it sounds like it. Unless Stell's got his take first, we'll find out.
What's your prediction?
Well, it's 2-0 at the moment.
Yeah. And what are you doing?
Well, I agree with you guys. We've beaten them 4 games in a row. Which manager did that? Oh, yeah.
The same manager you were slagging off.
Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Right.
Same manager trying to get rid of.
So he's not here now. I'm factoring that in. We are really bad at home in the league, but Man United are really bad away from home in the league. So, look at this. It doesn't take much to trigger this lot. Man U aren't good on the road, but we're not good. I think this is going to end up being a draw. I don't think Man United are good enough on the road. I don't.
What's your results, Phil? What's your results?
I'm going to go 1-1, and it's going to be a bit of a reality check for midweek. I don't think we're going to be as bad as we were against Chelsea, but I don't think we're going to do anything different than what I've seen at home this year.
Okay.
Hang on, what did you say? 1-1 to who?
1-1. 1-1 to Big Ange.
1-1.
So Sean's gone 2-0, John. I've gone 2-1. I'm only a point behind him now, so I'm catching him. Won't be long now. I'll be.
So we got 2-0 Sean. 2-1.
Interesting. Do you know what will be interesting in this game? The midfield battle in this game is going to be really, really interesting because our midfield isn't rubbish, but theirs isn't great. But when ours gets into its stride, it's capable, but so is theirs. And I'm interested to see how that battle works out because I agree with Dan. These are two quite balanced teams, but I think the midfield is pretty even Stevens.
Do you think they'll play Mason Mount? They'll play Mason Mount, Casemiro, and the Rat probably in the middle. I reckon there could be a red card on Saturday. I really do. I think it's going to be quite a dirty, nasty, shitty affair.
The only difference is in this game, but again we've got a better defence. Is if they get a couple of clear-cut chances, and so do we, you kind of fancy them to put theirs away with their players and not us. But it's about our defence being better than them and not giving them those chances as much as what they give us. So
still,
I think the midfield's key for this one. I think that's where this game's going to be decided, the midfield battle.
I think Moani will decide it. I think
Saturday is
his day still, and I'm looking forward. If Moani is the difference
on Monday, we'll be looking forward to posting.
I want that WhatsApp screenshot saved for Monday's show. Right? There's going to be some accountability either from me or you lot. There's going to be some accountability.
We got 3.5 minutes, guys. Is there any other advancement? Let me put this up on the screen for us.
Guys, those of you who are watching the show, and I looked at the stats on YouTube, I haven't looked at them on the audio, but the vast majority of you, large majority of you, do not hit the subscribe button. Guys, it's free, okay? Subscribe doesn't mean you pay for anything, but if you hit the subscribe button, it really helps the channel grow. And we're trying to grow the channel. So it will be great for us. We sit here, give you the show for 2 hours. If you hit the subscribe button, we'd really appreciate if you did that. It's only a small thing and it helps us out. So thanks very much.
Yeah, I put all of the links just up. If you scroll up, I put all the links for the Spurs Corner, Stell's new channel. Please help him out there, get him going, get him off and running. Hotspur Hood, see that one there as well for Danny. Brilliant show from you, Danny boy. Well done, mate, and thank you very much.
Cheers.
Football Inc. is there as well, and also Spurs Talk Show. And Lubo, when you get yourself a channel, mate, other than this one, then we'll be plugging that for you as well. Just quickly, guys, we've got 2 minutes. Has anyone got anything different on the team selection than this one that's on the screen?
Not really. Richard James, yes, Football Inc. Just for argument's sake. I think I can't even see that, Sean. It's quite small.
No,
there you go.
Sean, you got Spence at left back instead of Udogie.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, Sean, can I quickly add one thing? And it goes back to what I said about 6 weeks ago. I want to see us stick with just one left winger and give them a proper chance for the coach to coach. And I think Odegaard, just please stick with him. I don't want to see this chopping and changing. I just feel that's one area of the pitch we keep messing around with too much. And I just, I'm going to keep saying it because it hasn't happened yet. Just stick with him for a good 6-7 games and let's see where we go with it. Because if we keep chopping and changing that again, I just don't think it works for us as a club. I don't think we're in that position where we can keep chopping and changing that role.
Yeah, I get
well, we're in agreement. Okay, Sean.
Just quickly, guys, one last thing I'd ask of you. I'll put all the links up for everyone's channel. We are also really trying to grow the Spotify, the podcast version of this. There's the link. If you do like Walking the Wife, then you can do so with us in your ear rather than her. You can watch us on Spotify, watch this show back, or you can listen to us back on Apple Pods and Amazon and all that jazz. There's the link for the Spotify. I don't have the link for Amazon and Apple, but it's in the description. We got to go, guys. Appreciate you all. Danny boy, thank you very much for coming on, man. We'll get you on again next in the cycle round, okay?
Cool. Thanks for having us on.
Appreciate you all, guys. I've got 30 seconds before we got to go. Any last words? Anyone want to say anything quickly?
No.
Archie Gray is going to storm it.
Now you're talking sense. Finally, last part of the show.
Right, let's go before we overrun.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye,
Jeff.
Comment as always.
Bye,
See you
Jeff.
on Monday.
See you, Jeff. Come on, you Spurs.
Go on, Tottenham.